Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here with a Tip Tuesday. I am here to bring you some tips that you can use if you've purchased your dream hair and it's overwhelming you. I think many of us wig wearers have been there where we have gone for the dream hair, whether it's the long, thick, full hair, or it's the super curly hair, or somewhere in between, and we just weren't ready for it, and now we don't know what to do. So I'm going to give you some ideas. What are some things that you can do with your dream hair that will help you be able to wear it now and work your way into being able to wear the fullness of the dream hair in the future? So if you're curious or this might help you, then stick around for the rest of this video. All right, I got this idea when I was sharing a hair of the day with the wig I have on my head, which is Estetica Mackenzie. And this hair is absolutely what my dream hair was when I first started wearing wigs. Big hair, full, thick, long, layered, just everything that I had always wanted and never, ever could achieve with my own bio hair. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of purchasing some dream hair wigs early on, and I could not make them work. The first one that I got that made me realize that what I see on other people when they wear wigs, when I watch reviews, are not the same things that I see on myself when I put those same wigs on, was Estetica, incidentally, Estetica Aspen. Aspen is no longer around. It morphed into Avalon, and then Avalon morphed into a curlier wig. I'm not really sure why they just kept changing that style instead of just getting a new style. But anyway, Aspen was longer, layered, not too different than Mackenzie. It was just, Mackenzie's a lot more than that one ever was, but I just could not make that work for me. And at the time, I didn't know that I could style wigs. I didn't have any idea that I could put wigs in updos and use clips to, tame poof and make hair work a little bit better. I just really thought I had to wear the wig as it came. And over time, I've just learned that there really are no rules when it comes to wig wearing. I mean, okay, there are some rules, like be careful when you open an oven because you might fry your wig, or, don't use high heat on non-heat friendly synthetic, or, there are some rules, but I would say overall, when it comes to styling, I think we can do whatever we're comfortable doing, and it really does help your journey. So let me just give you some examples. I have 3 wigs here that I'm going to use for examples, because I'm going to try to cover a little bit of the gamut of what dream hair for someone might be. I can't obviously cover every single thing, but I think hopefully I've got a good selection that will help you. So the first one I am going to use is Mackenzie. That's the one on my head. I have recently reviewed Mackenzie, and so you can go watch the full review if you want to know more about this wig. I'll link the reviews I have of all of these wigs in the description so that you can go check them out if any of them are ones that you think you might like. So what I believe to be true about Mackenzie is, for people who are new to wig wearing, especially if you've been losing your hair for many, many years, so you've been dealing with super fine, thin hair, is Mackenzie will overwhelm you in the beginning because you've never had hair like this. I certainly never had. And so it's got tons and tons of volume, tons of hair, lots of layers, permatease, kind of got it all going on. And while now I feel like I can wear her fairly comfortably most of the time, I still every now and then can't do this much volume. And so what I like to do with Mackenzie is I like to wear her up. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and I forgot to grab the big claw clips. So let me grab those. I am a huge fan of stockpiling accessories because I think accessories are going to be your best friend when it comes to wig wearing. And by accessories, I mean giant claw clips like these or these. If you are going to wear longer wigs, little claw clips. I can't get the whole drawer out, I don't think. But like these, I mean, I have so many. More than probably is prudent, but So little teeny claw clips, kind of mid-sized claw clips, they're going to allow you to do so much. Bobby pins, I haven't really mastered the bobby pin tricks yet, so I don't really use bobby pins a lot, but I have tons of them, and you get them in your wig boxes, so keep those bobby pins. And then headbands. My favorite are these kind, cloth covered headbands. I've got all different kinds. I link them in the description of every video because I have my Amazon store linked in every video, and that is where I got all of these. So I always link anything that I think could be helpful to someone else, and I love all of these things. I use these headbands all the time. You can also have bandanas, the kind that you tie around as well. I've got bandanas too. I just find that these can be really easy and don't require any tying. Okay, so let's get going on a few things that I think you should do if you're overwhelmed by the hair. First of all, if the wig you purchased has a lace front, and Mackenzie does, then you can pull that hair back in twists and clips and get some of that volume tamped down. So all I did here was I just took this and I just twisted it. A simple little twist. I probably should have twisted it this way, so it goes away. It doesn't really matter, whatever your preference is. So a simple twist, and then you can use a bobby pin if you don't want to be able to see a clip. For the purposes of this video, it's just easier for me to clip it. But a bobby pin will allow you to hide it. So you can hide the bobby pin underneath the hair and then just have it twisted back, and then you can't see these. But look at, first of all, maybe I'll try it with a bobby pin just to demonstrate. But what happens when you do that? So then what I would do is I would lift up this hair underneath, and then I would clip it. My hands do not work very well, my fingers, so bear with me. And then you can pull that down. There. See, now you've got a little bit of a twist. This is different because you can see the clip. This one, you've got a little bit of a twist, and then you've hidden the way that it's attached. Right away, what has happened is I've got less volume here now. And that is something you can do with long wigs, with short wigs, every wig. If you have too much volume going on in the front and you're you just can't, it looks too wiggy to you because the volume just doesn't look normal to you, then I always say take some of the hair. First of all, if you're trying to tamp down volume, you can, so let's, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to pull that top layer back, get it out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this under layer and I'm going to bobby pin it down to the cap. And then when I put this top layer back, now it's flatter because I have tamped down some of that volume, and then I put this top layer back down over it. So then now you can't even tell that I did anything. I have a video, I think it's my Jamie Lynn video, Paula Young Jamie Lynn. Look up that video. I show how to do that with Jamie Lynn. You can do this with any length wig. Right away, now I've tamped down the volume, and so if volume is what your issue is, you can definitely make a huge difference by just clipping some of the hair down. And the reason why I go underneath is then you can't tell that I've done anything because this top layer hides that. So either a twist like this, which is kind of cute on the top, that's going to tamp down, or you can do it underneath and then tamp down some of that. If you're struggling with length, if you really want the long hair, but you just can't stand all of that hair down, all of that hair on your neck, now what you can do is you can do some updos. And so this is, we'll take practice. But what I do is you can either do a half up, half down by just gathering some of this hair, pulling it to the back, leaving some up front because then you're hiding the cap and all of that. And then you're just kind of clipping. Hopefully this will grab it all. I don't know if this is the right clip. This is a lot of hair. I don't think that one's going to work. I'll turn around for you guys in a sec here and I'll show you. But when I go I'm so, like, I can get these if I manage them on my own. Many times I have so much trouble doing these on video, but you'll appreciate that kind of what I'm attempting to do. But so now I clipped some of this back. And I don't know if you can see the wefting right now. All of that is stuff you can work with and hide. But now I've got a lot less hair down in the front. It doesn't feel as wild, as big, as poofy. And then if I wanted to even tuck, could just tuck some of it, keep a little bit of it forward so that I'm hiding that cap, hiding where it transitions into my own hairline. And now I've got a lot less hair up front. And I always recommend that you have yourself a little razor comb on hand. Here's a razor comb. I also linked this in my Amazon store, because then you can trim up some of the longer layers like this so they look a little bit more wispy, like natural hair would. You know, a lot of times your hair right around here breaks and then you've got more wispies. So you can trim those up. That'll also help you as you're trying to disguise the cap. But that is something that I highly recommend if you have a long wig, half up, half down, or full updo. I do show how to do a full messy updo. I have a video where I take it all and I twist it, then I clip it up, kind of spill it over, and then I start pulling out little hairs here and there and trimming that up. So you can watch that video. I'll link it in the description. That's another way that you can tame some of the fullness in a big wig as you're starting to get used to it. And then slowly you can work your way to a half up, half down, and then all the way down and beautiful dream hair, luscious locks. Headbands also kind of do a similar thing with these wigs if they're too much for you, where you just feel like you've got so much hair down in the front and you can't take it. You can grab these headbands and just work toward however you want to pull them back, and then you pull some hair forward again. You're always trying to hide that hairline. If you have bio hair, you can pull some of that out underneath, and that will help also hide that transition. Especially if it relatively matches the color. It doesn't even have to be perfect. And so that's another tip if you have some bio hair. But these kind of headbands are so great because it just sort of tamps down some of that volume again. And now I feel like maybe I can manage this. Or you could also do like a half up, half down and a ponytail, or a full messy bun and a ponytail. All of those things are what I would recommend you start practicing with long wigs. That's going to help you if and I have a wig grip on today because all this messing around, I'd be pulling this one off because Estetica caps fit me big. So I'd never be able to keep it on. Normally I don't wear wig grips with my wigs. So that is something that I recommend for sure. And again, it's just getting yourself some accessories, working your way toward having a good collection of accessories. So whatever you're in the mood for on any given day, or whatever you feel like you've got the energy to tackle, sometimes it all is all about our energy, right? Then you can work on the style. And the goal would be not only to have a wig that has a lot of different styles available to you, but that eventually you'll get used to seeing yourself with more hair, and then you'll have days where you don't need to style those dream hair wigs. You can just wear them as they come. But I have some wigs that I never wear as they come. I always style them. Jamila Plus by Ellen Villa is one of those. The curls on that one, I just can't manage them down, but I love it with headbands and updos, and that's how I always wear that one. It is okay to purchase a wig and then always wear it up or always style it. That is perfectly all right. So this right here is Becky by Paula Young. I love Becky. I have 3 Beckys now in 3 different colors. This is the newest one, and I just did a video on this one, my Tip Tuesday, and out of the box. She looked horrible out of the box. Terrible box hair. And I showed you step by step everything I did to get rid of the box hair and make her look fabulous. So if you haven't seen that one, I really recommend it. But this one, a lot of people say they want to wear Becky, but they just can't do this much curl because they'd never had this much curl before. Well, I didn't either, and I certainly couldn't have done this early on in my journey. But now I can wear Becky just full out curls, no styling, no accessories. But I didn't start there, and I worked my way there. This is another one where claw clips or bobby pins are perfect because you might not want all of this volume. So you can either take some of the top, and again, just a simple twist and a clip makes all the difference. I figure out which way to twist it so it looks, and then you just clip it wherever, or bobby pin it if you don't want to see the clips, or use the micro clips. They're so tiny you can barely see them. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to use a bigger one because it's easier for me to pinch and it's easier for me to get it out. But sometimes I use those micro clips because then you really can't see them and they look perfect. But then look at that. Look what I just did. Look at this side. Look at this side. This is nowhere near as full as this side is now. That is the whole point, is you want to tamp down some of that volume, some of that curl, so that you don't feel so overwhelmed by it. And putting a claw clip in, or multiple claw clips, maybe you do a couple of them, and then that's going to help you. You know, you can go up instead of to the side. And maybe what you're struggling with on a piece is maybe it's too straight on the top and the curls are too full on the sides. And so it gives your fullness. It's sort of like when you're a little heavy and you wear stripes. Horizontal stripes aren't very flattering for those of us who are already a little wider than we'd like to be. So on some of these curly wigs, the curls are all here and you don't have as many at the top. So what you can do is you can grab claw clips and you can pull them up. And then it brings some of those curls up higher. It gives some volume to the top where it was flatter than you wanted. And then you can pull this up or whatever. And then maybe that's what you're looking for. Maybe it's just the way the curls are distributed. So I think, again, claw clips are going to be super, super helpful. And it's going to allow you so many different options. And then later on, if you want to wear her and you've been wearing her up a lot, all you have to do is spray her with water to really refresh the curls and scrunch her up again, and you should be fine. I just really recommend you always take the styles out at the end of the day. Don't leave it in for multiple days because you do run the risk of cold crimping and impacting that curl pattern. Again, headbands. Like I said before, headbands can be such a helpful, and with curls like this, it can take a little bit to figure out how am I going to put this in here and get the hair to lay down. Like, do I want to pull it all up? Do I want to pull it to the side? You know, what you could do is you could take a twist. You could bobby pin it back. I'm just going to see if I can tuck it for now. And then put the headband on. And then you've got some of that hair back and it's not so big and full. See how this side is still big and full because I didn't do anything, and I tucked that side a little bit. So if you're struggling with these wild curly wigs, get her back out here. And so doing all the clipping, you can also, even a short wig like this, you can get it into the back in a claw clip. I do it all the time. Even though this wig isn't terribly long, it has enough length, especially if you don't mind it being a messy updo. This one's going to be colossally messy because I'm not taking as much time as I might normally take if I were doing this normal. But I'm just trying to give you a sense. So you pull it back. I don't know where I set my mirror here. I have no idea what that looks like, and I don't know where my mirror is, but you work on it. You work on getting as much of the hair up as you can. And now, once you get some of that hair up in the back, now you start working with some of this front hair. So I want to leave some down. Something's poking me in the eye here. I think I've got fiber stuck in my mascara. Okay. And then you start, again, twisting and clipping. And the beauty with these kind of curly wigs, especially if you use tiny clips, not one this big, is you can strategically place those clips so that you can't really see them. And then you're getting the hair, you're kind of pulling it up all over the place. You just leave a few little wispies down here and there. And then you've got yourself a much, much tamed look. And maybe something that you can manage a little bit better because, again, it's the volume and the curls that you're not used to yet. And then as time goes on and you start pulling little bits down, you start wearing it differently. I'm just going to pull this one off now so I can move on to the next one because this is a long video. Then you can start to wear it down. The last one I'm going to show you is Estetica Fin. I love Fin. Ooh, I left the clip-in Fin the last time I wore her. That wasn't smart. I love Fin, but Fin is a lot of hair. Not only does Fin have a lot of hair, it's getting warm in here. Not only does she have a lot of hair, but she has a lot of permatease. And so Fin is going to overwhelm a lot of people in the beginning. But if I can get there, you can get there. So I love Fin. And so again, Fin is another, not as curly as Becky, more curly than Mackenzie, but not as long. So you just continue to do what you've done all along. You start to do the twists and do the clips. You take a bottom part and you clip it down with a bobby pin, and then you put the top layer over, so now suddenly you've got a flatter profile. That literally works with every wig. It really, really does. Take that top layer. Let me clip it here. Oh, I'm getting a little melty in here. When we bought this house, I really needed to think more about my rooms that I'd be filming in. And I need a window in this room. It's a teeny bathroom, but that's okay. But I clipped that part down, and now I pull this down over it. Look at this. Look at this. You can see the difference, I trust, and because I can see the difference, this is much flatter now. This is still a lot fuller because I didn't do anything to this side. And so that bobby pin trick works with every single wig. So if you've got a wig and it's really just the volume that's overwhelming you, you can tamp that volume down with a few strategically placed bobby pins. This is another that if you wanted to do, just pull back some of this top part and do sort of a half up, half down. Keep this part down. Now you get rid of some of that volume on the top. So all of the point of this video is to give you some ideas, start the wheels turning. How are you going to work with the wigs that you have without having to cut them, without having to thin them? There's nothing wrong with thinning a wig, and if you think that thinning a wig is going to help you feel more comfortable with it, then by all means try that. And I do have a video where I show how to thin a curly wig. But sometimes it's worth it to wait and see if you can grow into the wig. I have over thinned wigs in the past because first of all, I didn't know what I was doing. And secondly, I just didn't give myself enough time to get used to the wig. And so if you can afford to hang on to a wig, try some styling techniques first, playing around with the wig, wearing it around the house, and making a point of looking at yourself in the mirror many times. Just because sometimes we just have to desensitize ourselves to seeing ourselves with a lot more hair than we're used to seeing. I guarantee you, people who don't know you will never know. Family is tricky because sometimes family can be super, super supportive, and sometimes they can help us see reality. But sometimes family is struggling as much as we're struggling with this whole journey. So gauge your family, and you may not be able to go to them for objective advice or opinions because they're struggling too. I will tell you that my husband is awesome, and he's really good at He's got some things he doesn't love with wigs, but he's really good at having an open mind when it comes to wigs now. Sometimes my kids aren't the same, especially my 15-year-old son. So I know I'm not going to go to them, and my daughter as well. She's 17, but she's got her opinions, and I won't always go to them if hey, what do you think of this? Because if it doesn't look like mom, they're not going to like it. So find those people in your life that can help you see reality and don't have like an emotional skin in the game like sometimes family does. I really think that's it. I hope this helped. I gotta tell you guys, I feel like this is like elementary now for me. Like, sure, just throw accessories in, but I have to remind myself where I was in the beginning of the journey. And for me in the beginning, even though now it's like, duh, sure, I can just do these things, I did not think like this in the beginning. So I am sure some of you are not thinking this way either. Or you just don't think anything is going to make a wig work for you. And that could be true for some styles, but don't write off what styling with accessories can do to help make a wig wearable. And it may not be the styles that I just showed you. It may be something completely different, but hopefully this is giving you some ideas. And then I just encourage you to look at other people. How do they have their hair styled? You know, when you're watching movies and TV, seeing what people are doing with their hair and trying to think about whether or not that's something you could recreate that would help you wear a piece that maybe isn't getting any wear. So let me know if you have questions. Please tell me if this was helpful. And did I say something today that you never thought of? Because I really like to know if what I'm putting out there is valuable. Is this time well spent for you and for me? So let me know about that as well. I will link anything I can think of that will help you in the description. And then always go to my Amazon store if you're looking for hair accessories. And maybe it's something I've already linked. If you don't see something there and you want to know if I've ever tried it, don't hesitate to message me. I'm happy to help if I have tried something. All right, guys, I love you all so much, and I really hope this helped. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I flipped it. Sorry.